because we're having fun. So, we're going to stick with the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go ahead and get that pulled up. So we have on Google Classroom, underneath ELA, we're still going to work on the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. So we can go ahead and open that one up. You got to let me know when you get there so that I know we're all ready. Alrighty, Declaration of the Rights of the Child. I'm going to wait about 1 minute, and then we will do the final section we're going to do on this. We're going to skip quite a few just because we don't have enough time to work on them, but that's all right. Sometimes we got to skip around. Okay. Looks like most of you are there. So on the right, we're going to be under language development today, and we're going to skip all the way down to the last one called conventions. So language development conventions, that's the one we're doing today. We're going to talk about pronouns. You guys will have some sentences to correct-ish on your own, identify some pronouns for this assignment, and then by then your test should be posted and you'll be able to take the test on this one. Okay, are we good? Language development conventions, ready for that?
Wait, why are we skipping all the other stuff? Word network, word study, and all that?
Just because we don't have a lot of time to do them. If you want to go back and work on them before you take the test, you totally can, but you don't have to. I'm not going to grade those sections, so we're just going to do the ones that I want to take a grade for. We just don't have a ton of time to finish it. If we were in class, we would, but with only an hour, it's kind of hard to fit it all in.
Okay.
Yep. So we're just going to talk about conventions this week, or today. We're going to talk about pronouns. Have you guys ever heard of a pronoun before? And what a pronoun is? You might have last year. Pronoun?
Aren't pronouns where they tell what and whose thing it is, or what it is?
You're kind of on the right track.
Wait, that's a possessive noun. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
a possessive noun.
A pronoun is like houses or something like that.
Still on the right track. So a noun is going to tell you a person, place, or a thing, right?
Yeah.
A pronoun is just going to replace the noun. So instead of saying Jacob went to the store, Jacob is the noun right there. All you do is replace it with he. He went to the store. The pronoun is he. That's a pronoun. Just replacing the noun. So let's read through these, talk about some examples, and then you guys will have a few questions to do on your own. So it says, pronoun case. Effective writing involves correct usage of pronouns. A pronoun is a word that takes the place of one or more nouns or other pronouns. Pronoun case is the form of a pronoun takes to show whether it is being used as a subject, an object, or a possessive. So this is highlighted, so I'm going to click on it and let's look at that. We have a lot of different pronouns listed there. It says the case of a pronoun is the form it takes to show its function in a sentence. There are three types of pronoun cases. You have nominative, objective, and possessive. So nominative is like when you replace it with I went to the store, you, he, she, we, it, they, those types of things. Objective pronouns are when you replace it with me, him, her, us, them. And then possessive shows a little bit more possession. So my, your, hers, ours, theirs. Lots of different pronouns that you can replace things with. Some of them sound better in other places than some, though. So you got to make sure that they sound good. Okay. Our next part says, writers use pronouns to avoid the repetition of nouns in their writing. And the case they use depends on the pronoun's function in the sentence. So this is a big one, using the pronoun to avoid repetition of nouns. If I was talking about, I'm just going to use the name Jacob as an example, and I started to write a paragraph and I said, Jacob went to the store. Jacob bought 8 boxes of Oreos. Jacob likes Oreos a lot. Jacob also bought milk. Jacob this, Jacob that. It just gets really repetitive and not very much fun to listen to or read. So instead of saying Jacob, 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 we can change it to Jacob went to the store. He decided to buy this. And then while he was there, he decided blah, blah, blah. You're replacing Jacob with the pronoun he so that you're not repeating the name Jacob over and over and over. Okay, are we seeing the use of a pronoun so far? Making some sense?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys use them all the time. It's not something that you're just going to have to like change your concept of what it is. When you talk and when you write, you're already using them. It's just now you have a name for what those are. Okay, here's this activity right here. You don't have to fill anything out, but it shows some examples of the different types of pronouns. So nominative or subjective pronouns, they take the place of the subject. So instead of saying Jacob, you would say he. So our example over here says he likes the sound of rain. He likes the sound of the train on the tracks. This could be Jacob likes the sound of the train on the tracks. Okay. Our next one says they searched online for the article. This could be Miss Dauphiné and Miss Jones searched online for the article. So instead of saying our names, we could just say they searched. Things along those lines. We're taking out the subject, replacing it with a pronoun. In objective cases, you're taking out the direct object of a verb. So this one is like a noun in the middle of your sentence. So Domingo sent it to Mel. Instead of using the word it, or well, they put the pronoun it. That could be something like Domingo sent a letter to Mel. And they replace a letter with it because we don't need to know. Maybe they already talked about the letter. Please give me the earrings is like saying, instead of saying, please give Miss Jones the earrings. That just sounds weird. So you use the pronoun me instead. Okay. And our last one, possessive cases are going to show ownership. So that's like after an hour running, my legs ached. My legs is possessive. They're mine. That's how it works. Please stick out your tongue for the doctor. You own your tongue. Okay. Theo works during his summer breaks. It's during his summer breaks. It's a possessive pronoun. So those are 3 types. How are we feeling about pronouns? Doing all right with these?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so the part that you guys are going to be working on your own is, so we have A, B, C, D, and then 1, 2, 3. So there's 7 questions there, and I'm going to give you guys time. I'm not just going to throw you out there. It says identify the pronouns in each sentence. And then it says label the case of each pronoun, but I don't need you to do that. I just want you to tell me the pronouns in the sentence. So list the pronouns. You don't even need to use a complete sentence. Just list the pronouns for part A, B, C, and D. Any pronoun that you see, list them. You guys want to just do this section first, and then we'll talk about the second section? I'll give you a few minutes to work on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do 5 minutes. We'll say 5 minutes and go from there. On a little bit of music. Yep. Thank you. So just be working on A, B, C, and D. Is everybody good on where we are in the document? Anybody need me to show you that real quick? I know some of you guys were a little bit later.
Where's the spot where you see what paragraph's the education part for the first one?
This part, children are not responsible for their own education.
Wait, is it in that? And you find the pronoun in that sentence?
Yeah, you're only using this.
Oh, okay. I was
Yep.
looking in the thing. Okay.
Nope, just that sentence. Tell me what the pronouns are in the sentence right there.
Okay.
Okay, and if you were a little bit late, totally fine. We're under our second section right here, language development. And then we open the bottom one, conventions. And then we just talked a little bit about pronouns, and now we're doing A, B, C, and D, listing the pronouns in each sentence right there. Okay, we'll do about 1 more minute on this part, and you can always go back after I just talk about the next one, what you're doing in the next part, but let's do 1 more minute. Okay. If you're not done with A, B, C, and D, that's totally fine. Just continue. If you want to look at my screen, I'm just going to talk about the 1, 2, and 3 real quick because you also need to do these 3 problems. This one wants you to read the sentence, and whatever is underlined, they want you to replace it with a pronoun. So our example up here says the writer of the first declaration is Eglantine Jebb. Oh, I always thought this was a guy. Apparently it's a girl. The writer of the first declaration is she, or was she, something like that. So you're replacing the underlined noun with a pronoun. So in the first one, Eglantine Jebb's goal was to help children. Replace that with a pronoun. I would like you to rewrite the whole sentence, though. Don't just write the pronoun. Write the whole sentence. So rewrite the sentence and replace the underlined noun with a pronoun. Okay. Do those 3 questions make sense? What you need to do for those 3?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's take another 4 or 5 minutes. Work on that section. Oh, man.
Miss Jones, on the last notebook, it says, like, it's not really a person. On that one, yeah, it's not really a person.
So then you won't replace it with he or she, but you can still replace it with a pronoun. If it helps, you can scroll back up to, where is it? This place that has the activity. There's all kinds of pronouns up here, so maybe look through those pronouns and see which one fits best.
Okay. Hi, Miss Jones.
Hello. Okay, for those of you that are just getting here, it's totally fine. We are in the Declaration of the Rights of the Child under the second tab, Language Development, and we skipped concept vocabulary, word study, word network, skipped those, and went straight to conventions. We read through, talked about pronouns, and we're just working on the activity. You might have to go back and finish it up later because we're gonna stop in just a couple minutes, just so you know. We'll take a little bit of, like, 2 more minutes.
Could I use the even though it's already underlined in the organization?
Well, if you take out the word organization, does it make sense? Does it still flow?
Oh, no, it doesn't.
So try and find a word that will flow with that.
Would foundation work?
Well, that's not a pronoun. That's just it's a different noun. If we look up at our chart, so if you're looking at my screen, you are going to, it's an objective case. It's this middle one. So you're going to use one of these pronouns here. Me, you, him, her, it, us, you, or them.
Is that for the last one?
Yeah. The one about the organization. It's an objective pronoun, so you want to replace it with one of the objective pronouns from that chart.
Could you go back to that chart so I can keep clicking back and forth and reading them?
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
I figured out which one it was.
Good. Do you guys need a little bit more time on this conventions part? Should I wait a couple more minutes or?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to finish up this song. It's about 2 more minutes long, and then we can talk about the test that you got to take after this. Alrighty. If you're still working, totally fine. Maybe just flip to my screen for just a second so I can just go over the 3 sections that you absolutely need to finish before you turn in the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. There are 3 sections that you need to finish, and then you can click turn in. Okay, so if we're looking over at the right and we click on making meaning, the first one that I am absolutely grading and checking for a grade is the comprehension check. So there are 1, 2, 3 questions that you should finish in the comprehension check that will be graded. Okay, so the comprehension check is the first one. The second one that I'm grading is the analyze, craft, and structure that we did yesterday. That one had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. 5 questions in it. The major part of it was this chart that you had to fill out, which it did not save my work, which is fine. So making sure that you fill out this chart as well. So analyze, craft, and structure is the other one. So comprehension check, analyze, craft, and structure. Those are the 2 big ones that you need to have done, as well as what we were just working on. So under language development, the conventions part. You need to make sure you do A, B, C, and D. Those are your first 4 you need to do, where all you're doing is you're listing the pronouns that you see in the sentence. So list, you don't even have to write a complete sentence, just list the pronouns you see. Then for the second part, write it. Number 1, 2, and 3, you're going to rewrite the sentence and replace the underlined word with a pronoun. So those are the 3 sections that I need you guys to make sure that you finish up. Once you've finished up those 3 sections, you can hit turn in the top. I don't have that ability because I have the teacher view, but you guys can click turn in when you're done and say that it's completed when you finish those 3. Maybe leave it open for now though, because you are going to go take your test right now. I think you can still open it even if you have turned it in, but if you want to leave this open for when you take your test, totally fine. We still with me? Ready for the test, basically?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Elijah, I would prefer that you did all the parts that we did together, because then I know you're paying attention, but at least finish the 3 that I'm grading. At this point, I just need I need to have things to grade, honestly. Okay. So let's go ahead and on Google Classroom. Also, I very highly suggest you leave open the article or the text so that it's there for you while you take your test. I wouldn't close it just yet. Under Google Classroom, let me reload it. In ELA, we had a Declaration of the Rights of the Child test post. We've done most of the activities. If you want to finish the activities first, that's totally fine. Then go take the test. But there are, I want to say there's 20 questions on this test when you open it up. It goes one by one. So if we look at the preview, it goes one by one. You can use the text, all good. Make sure you read the questions carefully. Yeah, there's 20 questions, but it's out of 24 points because sometimes there was 2 parts to questions, if you remember that from the last test we took on here. So you can absolutely go back and forth from the text, so the actual document, and to the test. You can go back and forth as many times as you need to. You can take as long as you need to on this test, but this is how we're finishing up class today. Once you finish the test, you're good to go until math.
Can I start the test?
Yep, you can start now.
Okay.
I'll be here if you guys need me. I'm going to stay on until 9 o'clock, like I said. So go ahead and be taking that test.
What are we doing?
Taking a test. It's you're going to want to open up the Declaration of the Rights of the Child page so that you have the text open. And then there's a new assignment on Google Classroom called Declaration of the Rights of the Child test. You'll open that up and you can use the text to take the test. Cool? Alrighty. So I'd like you guys to stick around while you take the test. When you're done, you can head out. But that way I know that you're actually taking the test, or at least I hope you are behind your blank screens. So good luck. I'll play some music. Let me know if you have any questions.